Welcome to The Explainer. So let's talk about one of the biggest stories of our lifetime, the great AI race. Who's going to come out on top, the United States or China? It's a massive question, and today we're going to break it down.
Okay, to really get a feel for what's at stake here, let's start with a crazy story from a city called Hangzhou in China. Back in 2016, this place was a traffic nightmare, like one of the worst in the entire country. But then, the tech giant Alibaba came in with this thing called the City Brain, basically an AI that controlled traffic lights in real time. And get this, the results were just insane. Hangzhou went from being the fifth most gridlocked city in China all the way down to 57th, just like that.
Now that's the kind of thing that makes you sit up and pay attention, right? This isn't some abstract, theoretical debate anymore. This is AI making a huge, tangible difference in the real world. And it really brings up the big question we're here to talk about. Is China actually pulling ahead? Are they about to overtake the US in this global race for AI dominance?
But hold on, before we can even start to answer that, we've got to make sure we're all talking about the same thing. So let's set the stage. What is modern AI really? Because, it's probably not what you see in the movies.
Yeah, I think we all have this idea of AI as this super smart, conscious being, right? Kind of like when Siri tells you a joke. But that's just not it. The real power of AI today, the thing that's changing the world, is something a little less glamorous but way more powerful. It's all about recognizing patterns. So it's not the joke Siri tells you. It's the fact that Siri can understand what you're saying in a noisy car. That right there, that's the magic.
So AI has actually been around for a while. I mean, we're talking about ideas like the perceptron way back in 1959. But then, things kind of stalled out for a long time. People call it the AI winter. But then came 2012, and boom, everything changed. A researcher named Geoffrey Hinton and his team had this massive breakthrough in image recognition using something called deep learning. And honestly, that moment is what kicked off the modern AI race as we know it today.
All right, so now that we're on the same page, let's dive into the great patent puzzle. We're going to follow the data, and there's no better place to start than with patents. They're like the official receipts for new ideas.
So here's a question for you. Who do you think holds the most AI patents? The US, right? Or maybe China? Well, what if I told you the answer is neither? The data here is actually kind of shocking.
Okay, check this out. If you look at the companies with the most patents in super important fields like computer vision, the tech that lets computers see, it's not Google, it's not Alibaba, it's almost all Japanese companies. Canon, Ricoh, NEC, look at that list. IBM from the US barely squeaks in. I gotta be honest, this was not what I expected to see. So the big question is, where on earth is China?
But, and this is a huge but, when you stop looking at individual companies and start looking at the total number of patent applications filed by the entire country, the picture just completely flips on its head. Just look at that chart. See that red line for China? After that 2012 breakthrough we talked about, it just goes vertical. It's an absolute explosion. They went from being a minor player to just dominating the field in terms of sheer volume.
So what's going on? How can they be filing so many patents without a single company in the top ranks? Well, the answer is pretty fascinating. China's AI innovation isn't concentrated in a few giant companies like it is in the US. It's spread out everywhere. We're talking countless companies, universities, research labs. It's this massive, decentralized ecosystem all working on AI at the same time.
And that huge number of patents points to something even more fundamental than technology or companies. It really gets to the secret weapon in this whole race. It's not about the code, it's about the people, the human talent.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. A study looked at where the top-tier AI researchers from China's best universities end up working. And the results are, well, they're kind of mind-blowing. Over half of them, 54%, leave China to go work in the United States.
Let that sink in for a second. We're talking about a massive brain gain for the US, because what this means is that almost a third, 29%, of the top AI talent working in America today is actually from China. They are a huge part of what makes the US a leader in AI research.
Yeah, this is so important that the New York Times literally called it a US secret weapon in AI. And it makes perfect sense, right? America's strength isn't just its homegrown talent, it's its ability to attract the best and brightest from all over the world, and especially from China.
So, okay, let's put these two pieces together. You've got the patent puzzle and the talent's secret weapon. It paints a picture of two giants with two completely different strategies. So, what does this mean for the future?
To really get China's game plan, you need to understand this one word, luodi. It translates to land or to ground, but in business, it's a whole philosophy. It means, hey, this cool research is useless unless we can turn it into a real product that solves a real problem. And fast. It's all about practical application.
And that right there, that's the core difference. On one side, you have the USA, which is this incredible magnet for global talent, and it's absolutely killing it in fundamental, groundbreaking research, pushing the limits of what's possible. And on the other side, you have China, with its luodi mindset, which is just brilliant at taking those ideas and rolling them out on a massive industrial scale, like fixing the traffic in an entire city.
So at the end of the day, who wins this thing? Maybe it's not about which country has more patents or faster chips. Maybe the real question is this: where will the next generation of genius, the brilliant minds who are going to build the future, where will they choose to work? Will it be the place that pushes the boundaries of pure research, or the place that can turn an idea into reality for millions of people overnight? The answer to that question will probably decide everything.